All right, welcome in to Talespire. Well, OG Feasting Hour, the Feasting Hour. Sorry, we call it like 3 different names. This is session 13, and you might notice there's only 3 people here. But you know, with Mother's Day's coming up tomorrow, you know, happy Mother's Day to everyone who's out there. Yeah, make sure you show your mom some love tomorrow. But
love you, Mom.
What happened last time? Does anyone remember?
Well, technically, our memory is hazy on the events that happened. But now how it started, Leo flipped out. Suddenly, Eminem started playing as these black tentacle goo shit came out of him. He ate the boat driver, and then like went away into an upper part of the like prison mine camp that we're in. We caught him there at a drow like shrine of law, where when we tried to stop him, the room flooded and we entered his flashback memories, origin story. After discovering Leo's tragic backstory and learning in more specific details how his village was destroyed by an orc army, maybe we learned sympathy. Maybe Leo learned a lesson. Maybe it was hard to tell.
He attempted to touch this woman.
Yeah. But now, that's where we're back in the room.
Okay.
With
and we.
Oh, what's up?
We learned some history between the elven gods and the orc deities. About why that shit might have happened.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
I think the girl's lying.
You think she's lying? Look at all. Aren't you a half elf?
Stab Coralon.
Yeah, I am. Apparently, I don't know if I was supposed to pick like a race for the elf side, but
no, you're good. Sorry, I put you back up to 100, Pyre. I think you were just low earlier. Alrighty.
Maybe.
So, you guys begin to go on with your plan, and you're about to, like, you know, go get your items and stuff. But as you are walking out, you hear massive footsteps coming from the bridge above, and you have this aura or this sense of just innate, powerful magic that is coming. Well, specifically Isaac and Sohar, you guys sense this, like something doom is coming through or coming near you. And the drow female turns to all of you and says, I highly recommend that we don't fight that.
We don't need to fight it if you're escorting us, right? That's what we agreed on?
Yeah, but I don't really... You have to understand, the warden is a very, very picky / perceptive person.
yeah, we can gather as much.
I'd rather us get our bearings together before we do anything. And one of your Kuatoa buddies is starts tugging on your arm so hard.
What is it?
Beep boop at that. Sleep it up. And he starts to drag you towards the boat.
Okay, believe we'll go there?
Sleep it up. Sleep it up.
Sleep it up.
That word.
And yeah, they run off to run. Oh, I just lost him. He just went in the water. Okay.
Wow.
He went home.
He just jumps into the water. So yeah,
He's
No,
gonna touch
he's
the
not in the
butt.
wall, he's in the wall.
yeah. Oh, you found him? Okay, yeah. The Kuatoas begin
I
to...
dropped him in the water.
Yeah, he's in the water now. They all begin to line up, and then they all just start running towards the boat. And you guys still have a knife onto her back, right?
Yeah, I have my sword, my short sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have firebolt anymore. I dropped the concentration on the ready spell.
Yeah, she's She's kind of just like even though you're holding onto her, she's kind of like nudging herself to go to the boat too.
Well, it looks like we're taking a detour.
I'm not gonna sit here and die just for you, please.
Oh, that hurts my feelings. And I kind of like nudge her to go towards the boat.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you guys all go into the boat.
We all going to boats.
Yeah, and you realize that the boatmaster is not there anymore, so
It's okay. I'm an outlander. I know how to get this boat off.
okay. How are you gonna do it?
Onward.
I'll
I'm
be known to
gonna
motorboats.
unshore us from the. I'm assuming we're tied up here, and just
Yeah.
give us a little shove off of the pier.
Yeah, and you begin to paddle, and you start to enter the cave. But all of you, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Where's Leo when you need him?
At 20, first roll of the day.
Oh shit!
14.
Never mind. Excuse
14.
the fuck out of me.
Yeah, as you guys are paddling out and begin to go through, you see kind of like a figure or a shadow of a creature that is going down the bridge, and you hear like grunting and you hear chains rattling. And because of your nat 20, you recall one of these creatures from Leo's tragic backstory. One of you actually died from it. Two of you died from it.
Ah. It's a lamp. It's a lamp.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Isaac.
ogre?
Yeah, Isaac is the only one who's able to denote that it's.
I got a 24.
Oh yeah, 24. Yeah, you're able to denote it's either an ogre or a troll. That you guys can't really see the features, but looking at like the shadows and stuff.
Yeah,
And you're
What
up.
would
I
we
don't wanna
do?
fuck
We'd
with that.
never stand a chance against one of those.
I don't even have my bow. I'd have
Yeah.
to go melee combat with that.
Yeah, and then you guys go. Then we go to a new map. Allow me to.
Yo, paddles hard. Paddles harder.
Yeah, you begin to paddle, and one of the Kuto actually jumps off the boat and begins to swim and try to push the boat or the little
Sorry,
boat at the
buddy,
same
my
time.
14th strength score can't keep up with you.
Yeah,
But you're the strongest in our group.
let me throw you guys in
Oh
here.
no.
Yeah, he is. It's so funny. He's the strongest in the group. We got one.
Yeah, I bench 150. What can I say?
I'm the strongest one in the group. What can I say? You throw you guys all here. Buggy. And I'm missing DJ.
You're still in the boat, so am I.
I just moved over to you.
Oh, never mind. You're not in the boat. That's so hard.
Well, I like changed to the new place.
Yeah, I'm about to summon you guys all here.
Why the pop? Oh shit. New map? Who dis? Oh, this is gorgeous.
Boom. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? Okay, there we go.
Where
Alright,
are
let me
the
give you-
slums?
Let me give you guys DJ. Pyro. And then we need Kale. Where did I just put Kale? It's over here somewhere. I just saw him.
I don't
I'm
have a
following the
character
waters.
on this map yet.
Yeah, I'm looking for you. I just saw you a second ago. There you go. There you go.
There I am.
I don't know if you have permission.
Did we lose our hostage?
No, she's coming too.
Oh, okay.
He lost
Lost
her.
it.
Just threw her in the water.
Yeah, it's too heavy.
Okay. So you guys all go onto the boat, and your Kuoto friends, bring you up to here, and you're greeted by a ginormous amphibious creature with a spear, and he's pointing it at all of you. Boodoo. But I would have sloop it out.
At ease, friend.
A sloop it out. And then one of the, you see one of your fish friends, he begins to run up to him, and they begin to exchange like words, and you can kind of tell that the words are getting like louder within each other. They kind of look like they're arguing a little bit.
I'll take my short swords out of their sheaths and like put them on the ground, put my hands up like we come in peace.
And yeah, they all look over to you, and then they kind of point out to the female drow. A bloop, a scoop, a beep out.
I'll like reach back and like put my arm around her, like she like belongs with us.
Can anyone speak any other type of languages?
I can only speak Dwarvish and Elvish.
I don't speak fish.
Damn. Fish are friend, not food.
I mean,
Unless they're speaking Celestial here, I don't think I can help.
No one has any type of comprehend languages or anything, right?
nah.
No.
I'm only a level 5 ranger.
Yeah, I think the only languages I speak are Primordial and Sylvan.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything to physically try to help your boy over here and speaking to this ginormous amphibious creature?
Do I know anything about these from my years of travel?
You know
Let
that
me
they
get
are,
that.
yeah, you know that they're Kuatoa. They're a type of fish people, and you've met one. His name was Zeebs, the one that you met.
Right.
And,
The-
yeah.
The giant like
I'm gonna-
creature that popped out of the water, right? And he spoke to me telepathically.
Yeah, he spoke detailed
Would
about
I
it.
have gained any knowledge?
Yeah, they're not
from that?
Abeloth. The fish god.
Well, he was an aboleth, but they thought he was a fish
Yeah.
god.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna put a hand on the fish person's shoulder and cast guidance,
All right.
which is quite obvious because it has verbal and somatic components.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
Like Fortnite dancing there, you know the
Okay, let's see.
TikTok clip.
And,
what's his name? Zach.
Zach the Bold.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
and he,
Is he casting a spell?
yeah, he begins to like wave his arms around. Boop, and he points over to the woman or whatever, and then points over to the cage that's next to the water. And then the guy the amphibious creature kind of looks over and then just like puts a spear down and allows him to go by.
I pick both my short swords up and sheathe them back. I look over to the drow. You're fucking welcome.
And as you guys come in, it's like an Underdark beachside and miniature houses and miniature camps and everything all around here. And it's just literally a village for Kuatoas.
Most sick. We're not out of place at all.
We're raising an army. We're going back.
We're gonna go back and raid the prison with an army of
To free the people.
Yeah.
We're going to free the fish god from the constraints of the cavern.
How do how do Bucky and Leo look? Are they all right? They're a little seasick, or
Yeah, they're a little seasick, but they're kind of tired.
How
fair
convenient.
enough?
It's just that it's more like they kind of just one of them just kind of went through a very traumatic event,
Yeah, I mean,
you
we all
know.
did. Fair enough.
Spock
Yeah.
is like,
So you guys
the king doesn't follow.
you guys pull up and you can see that they're all doing like daily things. They're throwing nets into the water. They're attempting to catch other fishes and stuff, and just daily things that they're doing. They're walking around. You see families of like fish people going about their day, and they're all just staring at you as you guys are on the dock. And what did you name your boy? Your fish boy?
The fish what?
I thought you named one.
There's like five. There's like 5 of them.
Yeah, they all kind of scatter as you came in, but one of them stayed back with you. They all went to their respective locations.
Yeah, Gloop. It's gonna be Gloop.
Gloop. So Gloop, let's rename him.
Ram, ramen, ram.
Gloop comes over, and then he kind of leads you over here to the shore onto this cage, and gestures to the elven woman, and then gestures to put her inside.
Oh damn.
Scoop up, scoop, scoop, scoop.
Hopefully she doesn't get eaten in here.
So it's Solar salutes and uses mage hand to open the cage.
Yeah, and she looks over at all of you. I'm not going in there. It smells like fish everywhere.
You smell like
Yeah,
fish.
everywhere here
Priestess,
smells like.
we're in a fish town.
And you expect me to get to hang out in there after what your friends have done to me? There's no trust here.
You enslaved us.
There is no trust here. Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. I am simply a priestess of Loaf.
Yeah, false
I
god.
mean, you have to understand that obviously these people don't want you here, and to guarantee your safety, this is the best place for you to hang out.
Roll persuasion.
We'll be back. All right.
I'll give him Bardic.
Yeah.
D8.
Good thing. Oh, nat 20.
Okay. She
I was kidding about the
she ignores Isaac, and then she kind of ignores Sohar, and then just meets eyes with Kale, and then just keeps staring at him for a second, and she kind of is like, fine, I guess that's all I can do. And she kind of like, you know, moves her hand around Kale's face like sensually for a second, and then, you know, puts herself in the cage.
We'll be back.
And then he comes in, he gets the keys, and he locks her up in there. And he, you see as he goes in the water for a second, like, spikes his spear perfectly into the water, grabs a fish, and just throws it at her in the cage. What do you expect me to do with this? It's not even cooked.
And I
They're
with
trying.
fireballs.
If only I had my supplies.
It's better than what we were given in this in the prison.
Scooter pop, scooter pop.
Yeah, so if I was to shoot the fish with the fireballs, would it be cooked?
Yeah, you can shoot it, but it's in her hand, like she's holding it.
I thought you were talking about the Kuato. I was like, oh god, please no.
He's gonna eat him.
Hey, priestess, hold up the fish.
Why?
Do you want it cooked?
She throws it onto the ground in front of you guys.
Okay, then I'm just gonna firebolt it. My favorite spell.
Yeah, you.
And after he firebolts it, I'm gonna press it digitated
Okay.
to flavor it
Oh.
into like, you know, a nice seasoned salmon.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bless the food
I'll
in the
pick
name
up-
of Lebelos and Oreth.
Oh man. Just.
And then I'll take the pieces of fish off the ground, take an arrow out of my quiver that I don't have. Just kidding.
Okay,
That
you have
was
your two
fine.
short swords.
Yeah, no, I was gonna like shish kebab it, put it on a skewer.
Yeah,
and
you
then back
can.
to her, but I don't have it.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't have
You.
my stuff.
Yeah, you don't have your stuff, but you can see that he gives you like a small dagger.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll do that. Let's take it on the dagger and toss it back up to her.
And she's just looking at it very confused. And why would you do this for me? Suppose I
Just show a good
enslaved you
face.
all.
I told you we'd be back.
If I enslaved you all, why would you be nice to me?
I would never serve poor quality food, even to my worst of enemies. And you're not them.
Hmm. Interesting.
We love the Lebelos.
And she kind of just, you know, crisscross applecross, sits in the cage, looks out into the water, and starts eating the fish. And your boy over here is a bloop, the scoopa leader.
Bucky.
No, scooter bop bop bop.
Are you
Bucky.
taking
I think-
us to your
I
leader?
think he's saying their leader.
No, Bucky is their leader.
Oh.
I will it so.
I will it so. And yeah, like when Isaac says their leader, he kind of like presses his gills to like denote that, you know, he's saying the right thing.
Ooh, it's like charades.
I love a good game.
And he starts to walk down into the village, and as you guys are walking, you can see that the bigger Kulatoas are just staring at you. Everyone's all looking at you and stuff.
I think they're average tries.
Just polite waves as we walk by.
So, bro, do you work out?
Escuda
What
papa,
supplements you guys taking around here?
fish oil.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Escuda papa. And as you guys come up to this location, you are greeted by a very weird looking Kuotoa standing on both bipedally and not hunched over like the other ones, and he is a huge greenish hue.
Is this him?
Please tell me you speak common.
Scooter pop 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 scooter, and he begins to, go down on one knee and kind of praise him. And you can see that there's other Kuotoas that are just around here. And in the back of your mind, all of your minds, you hear, "Who are you?"
Damn it, this is the second time this has happened to me today.
I'm gonna step forward, and I'm gonna do like a bow, and I'm gonna be like, I am but a humble servant, but I present to you the champion of Lima Gugu, and I gesture to Kale, and the herald of Lima Gugu, and I gesture to Sophar.
Okay, that's good.
Lima Gugu. How do you know of him?
He
I've
appeared
spoken
before
to
us.
And he kind of goes
Kale.
over to Kale and puts his fish hands on his face and begins to smell him up and down.
Alright.
Hmm.
Kale is completely unfazed, just lets it happen. This is normal.
Yeah, as
It's a Tuesday for Kale.
yeah, he's like touching your face and stuff with his gills, and you kind of see his with his hands, and you kind of see his gills like fluttering, going opening and closing consistently, and his
I have
fish
that
eyes are
effect.
looking weird. You have been touched by Lima Gugu.
Oh, you're goddamn right, I have.
And why do you come to sloop it up?
Lima Gugu gave me charge of these brave young soldiers and said deliver them to safety. So here I am, delivering them to safety, as promised.
You assisted in rescuing my followers.
It was a team effort. We all got them here.
And yeah, as you guys look over, you guys can see a Dwagar in a cage in the back, but he's kind of like incapacitated.
I would like to say that Lima Gugu personally also broke us out of imprisonment. I feel like that should bear some mark here.
And he looks over to you guys, and then you can see that he begins to speak with your favorite Kuotoa. Is Kudabap? Skapapap. And then he goes, and you see him move his arms around, like, expressing like he saw this giant creature, he saw Lima Gugu, and then like he like showing that he's like punching a bunch of guards and scratching them.
Valiant soldiers. They fought and killed 3 guards.
There's really not much we can give you for assisting in bringing back our followers. It's a great thank you
Well,
that I
they do
have.
say information is the best form of payment.
And what
So
information do
maybe
you
we could,
require?
well, we're currently without any of our gear or armor supplies. They've been stolen by those who imprisoned us. You
Hmm.
wouldn't happen to know a way to get those back, would you? While also avoiding detection?
The water speaks to me. The water does not go to that area. The only area that you've seen is the one you came from. The entrance to from the cave onto our grotto. Sleep-a-doop.
Understandable. It was worth an ask.
And he like looks over at Sohar, and he's very like intrigued with his legs.
Like what you see, big boy.
Careful so hard. This will be the romance you didn't ask for.
the one romanceable character. So, how do you plan on receiving your items back?
Well, I was thinking, I think there's still more of our people, the Lima Gugu followers, down in the prison. If we got a large group here, we saw how they could kill all the guards easily. We gathered some group, and I don't believe the guards could handle the action economy. If we have like 20-ish fish people.
Action economy. Interesting. We don't have an economy here.
Speaking the language of the gods.
We do. We survive under
I'm thinking
bartering.
a Zerg rush, if you will.
What is Zerg Rush?
You will see if you borrow us some followers.
I must think
It's the way
upon
of the
this.
gods.
Which god?
Their gods. It is to send in pawns and watch from the back line.
I feel as if you have something, but I'm not 100% sure. If you're asking to send my followers back into battle with the drow, there has to be something you do for me and for my village.
I'm going to pass the ball. I cannot be making all the decisions here.
What is it that could be done for a follower of Limagugu? A devout of Limagugu.
As you most likely know, Limagugu is a gracious god, but Limagugu requires sacrifice. Assist me in completing the ritual.
Well, there's plenty of people to sacrifice back at the prison. Believe me.
And he points over to the Dwagar in the cage that's unconscious.
From the prison, I presume?
No. This man, and he walks over to the cage. He brings you guys over and walks over to the cage. Invader of Sleebadoop.
An alone man invaded this place? You must be insane.
No. They came with caravan, but they don't know how to fight in the water as we do.
They must be insane.
And you can see that the man is in there and he's unconscious and he's tied up with a bunch of seaweed and rope.
What were they after?
The same thing the drow are. More workers. That's how things work down here in the Underdark.
Oh, he's a slaver. Okay, yeah, we'll help you sacrifice this guy. No worries.
No pity. Wait.
I
Easy.
don't think there's any moral objections to killing a slaver.
Yeah, and as you guys are speaking, he kind of like wakes up. Where am I? Who are you people? And he kind of looks over at the fish, the green one. What? How did I end up in this cage? And he starts rattling, tries to rattle the cage, but the seaweed is holding him down.
Gale's gonna take out one of his short swords and like Negan walk it down the bars of the cage and
Ever?
speak to him in Dwarvish and ask him why he's here.
Yeah, you can roll intimidation for that. With advantage.
Where's Rick?
Where's Rick?
It's gonna be 16.
16? Let me roll for him. Oh yeah, definitely. He kind of looks at you, kind of just like dumbfounded. You're the ones who must have assisted them. He's speaking back to you in Dwarvish.
I asked you a question. Ting ting. I tap my sword on the bars again.
Welcome in, Short King Dusty. We are in Sleep It Up.
Welcome, Short King.
Slip it up,
We're in the presence of royalty.
Real, actually, yeah. Praise him.
Lima goo goo. And yeah, he looks over and he kind of see like the fear in his eyes, and he's looking around and he sees like other bones and skeletons inside the cage of him of like his comrades.
They can't help you. Look at me. I asked you a question.
I wonder what they're saying.
You're speaking Panyol. No, I'm kidding. And he goes back, if you're gonna kill me, then just already kill me.
Well, that would be stupid. I haven't gotten an answer to my questions yet.
We're slavers, idiot. What do you think we do?
obviously nothing worth doing if it ended up in this situation.
The Kuatoa understand the Underdark better than us. They understand the lakes and the waters. They know how to mine better than us when it comes to the aquatic nature of these crystals.
I suppose hiring them was out of the question.
And why would they want to work with us? They're disgusting creatures.
Oh well, yeah, it might be that.
And then
Says
he...
you.
Oh! You guys go.
Come on. As I'm still speaking to him in Dwarvish. Say something. Something that'll save your life.
And he kind of just turns from you and begins to pray in Dwarvish.
Well, obviously whoever you're praying to can't help you. Or they already would have.
And as he's praying, turns his head. Maybe not in this life, but in the next.
Well, why don't you talk to him when you get there? You can talk to me now. Right now, I'm your god, so...
And he kind of like spits onto the ground. You're a mere mortal, you're nothing to me.
Right now, we have all the power.
And
That should
he
mean something.
kind of turns to you and says, the ritual's beginning soon. Prepare the meat. And you can sign as the Kuatoas. It's kind of like the, you know, like the Star Wars episode where the Ewoks are starting to dance and stuff. The music starts to play.
Yeah.
And
Small elements.
they begin to circle around. These bigger ones begin to circle around the cage. And you can see that they have like spices and stuff and herbs, and they start to throw it into the cage like while they're dancing around it.
I'll look over to Isaac and be like, alright, I'm done playing bad cop. If you got something to say to him, you better try it now.
Him? I don't know. I think you did a pretty good job trying to convince him.
Isaac's like, what
I'll
type
look-
of seasoning is that? That's some good.
Oh, yeah, I
I'll
think
look
it's
at-
a waste of seasoning.
Yeah, it's just...
But I didn't
Look
want to
at
offend
Sohar
anyone
and be
by
like,
saying it all that.
you can be good at... Never mind. Alright, yeah, cook him.
all right. Yeah, so they
you want me
begin.
to do your final rites?
Oh my god. And he
seemed
kinda-
unapologetic.
He just speaks in common and he looks over at the Sahara. Whatever god you're following, I'm not interested.
Which one?
I don't know what you pointy ear fucker just listened to.
Oh, sick.
Whoa!
Another racist in the Underdark. Surprise! Surprise!
What a surprise.
What a surprise. Acting like the party isn't worse.
Oh, the party! Whoa! Whoa! I'm
done
Mr.
nothing
Worldwide over here, alright?
Well, I'll be praying for you, my friend. I hope you end up with one of my deities.
Yeah, and he tries to get closer to the gate, and he says, "Pray for me, then." And he sticks his hands out to yours.
Sure, I'll grasp his hand.
Give me a strength saving throw.
Okay. Can I also cast inflict wounds on him as he's holding my hand?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't be just changing it up now.
What?
Do the strength saving throw, and then I'll do it right after.
7.
7. Why can't this guy stand up? Like, he has a fucking problem. He won't stand up. He keeps saying that he's like... There you go. Yeah, he grabs your hand and then he pulls it as hard as he can, and you smack your hand against the grate, taking a D4 of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that.
Hey, Sohar, you should heal yourself.
Yeah, surely. I only take 1 damage, so I don't really mind, but I'm casting inflict wounds as he's holding my hand.
Yeah, you can cast it for spoons.
The Kuto are not gonna be happy if we kill the sacrifice in the cage.
Shit.
Yeah, don't kill the sacrifice. So
Well, I already said I cast it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely too late. I was just saying that for funny.
Yeah, roll
That's
D2.
18
Doesn't Sohar have to roll
18 necrotic
D20?
damage.
Well, not if he
Yeah,
cast
I
it.
do.
Oh yeah, because they
Actually,
could
I
heal
do.
him.
So, a d20. I need to roll 2 d20s. That's a 9 on the first one. That's the if I healing by accident.
Yeah, you didn't get below 5.
And then a 10, so I don't get a wild magic burst.
You get wild magic burst too. Okay, let me get the. Let me get
Yeah,
the
because
sheet
if
real
I
quick.
roll that one, it's a wild magic burst. So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But it's a 10, so it's not. My friend, I think I hurt you more with that.
You said 18 points of damage, right?
Yeah.
What number did you get for the wild magic table?
I didn't roll, like, I rolled a 10, so it's, if I roll a nat 1, then I roll wild magic table. But I roll a d20 every time I cast a spell above first level. To
Heal or
see
not?
If I like explode.
You explode. Why would you explode?
Wild magic, I mean.
That's what the surge is.
Oh,
So,
so you're.
if
So
I
am I
roll-
not looking at the table, or am I looking at the table?
You're not looking at the table. I rolled a 10.
Okay. Okay. You're fine. Yeah. Yeah. So he takes the 18 points of damage, and then they all start to grab you and like move you away from it. And the guy looks over. He looks over. He looks over and says, "You're ruining the seasoning."
Sorry, he gets a little excited when it comes to cooking, and he just likes to add his own flavor in there.
Yeah, and you can see as they kind of like circle around
Tenderizing
him,
the meat.
and you see as they like move their staffs around, and they kind of cast like almost like a precipitation, but almost like a bless onto them, so they can kind of get rid of the necrotic damage that he took.
Pretty sparkles.
Yeah, let me get the other guy. Where's my boy at? There you go. You see as these like these two jacked fish folk begin to come by the grate. And they open the grate and they start to grab them.
Damn.
And they're like, "No! No! You're not gonna eat me. I'm not gonna get eaten by fish. Disgusting!"
Oh. Your tone changed so quickly. What happened?
Yeah, and they're both holding him.
I fucking strung on this fish. Like, I tanked 18 damage.
No, it wasn't the fish. You hit a Dwagar.
Yeah, but I mean, they're grabbing the guy that tanked 18 damage.
Wasn't he restrained by seaweed and shit?
Yeah, he's also restrained by seaweed, so he has like a disadvantage on all that stuff. Yeah, look at them. Look how jacked they are. Can you even think about having muscles that big? Look at they have abs. Do you have abs?
What's your strength score? Pull it up right now, buddy.
Pull it up right now.
I think it's an 8 on solo hunt.
Yeah, I can't even talk. These fish folks, they swim every day, laps.
These are both like fish folk Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
For us, what swimming is, so Michael Phelps, would that be running for the fish?
Yeah, like the fish folk will usually have the same swim speed as run speed.
Fish people can run
Terrifying.
too, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kind of put him onto the altar and they tie him down and he's screaming, like he's kind of like yelling for his life, but everything is getting kind of like muffled. Well, you can't really hear his screaming because they're all singing around him. Like I said, it's an Ewok party going on here.
I look back to Isaac and Sohar. Like for the record, I definitely did try. That dude was talking mad shit to Orbish.
Don't worry, we're on your side on this. Can I use my illusion to make a drum roll?
Yeah, you can make a drum roll, fine.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah. And yeah, he you see as like the ritual begins, they're seasoning him warm, and then they have like one of the mages is starting to heat the table that he's on, and it starts to sizzle and start to burn him. for Lima Gugu. Lima Gugu. And the whole town begins to go wild. Lima Gugu. Lima Gugu.
Lima goo goo.
Lima
goo
Gugu.
goo.
Pull
Lima
the joint
goo
he
goo.
got from the dude in the barn, like session 3,
He's-
out and like
And-
ask Isaac and Solar to light it up for him.
yeah, and he starts
I
to
can do digitation to light it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
bit more safe than fireballs.
Lima Gugu. Lima Gugu. And they come out and they bring out like really, really nice little throne chairs. And they set it up behind all of you and give you like a cushion seat and stuff.
I said, okay, all right. And Kale takes a hit and passes it. right.
He's
So-
like,
so
God.
terribly.
Pop
But-
pass.
Yeah, same thing.
It should be to the left.
Everybody roll me a con save.
Oh, okay. Are we gonna get high? What the fuck?
Let's see if I'm eating well. Level
Can I roll at disadvantage?
Yeah, roll a disadvantage.
I'm at 3.
I got an 11.
11.
11.
as well. Oh, hey.
Yeah, Kale, you immediately feel the effects. The other two are like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, they're not like as high, but you start to feel like really hungry. You start to feel really ravenous. And then you start to think
Oh,
in your
no.
head, is like, is cannibalism actually that bad?
I like look over to Isaac and be like, bro, this would be some shit I would see in a hallucination.
And
I'm already
um,
here, dog.
yeah, they begin to go around this Dwagar and to like, you know, praising Lima Gugu, Lima Gugu, Lima Gugu. And the green fish goes up to this he goes and picks up a bowl, 3 bowls, and puts a substance inside of it and passes it to each one of you. And he gives one to Kale, one to Isaac, and then one to Sohar.
Is this
Fucking
like of the
starving. I immediately
the
drink
Duragar?
on it.
or Dwagar?
What'd you say?
Like, where'd you say this came from?
Oh, from the cauldron over here.
It's like Ayashka, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
There's not a humanoid in there, is it? It's against my religion to consume the flesh of sentient creatures.
Lima Gugu. And he just passes it on to you. He says, I shall tell you when to drink. Lima Gugu. Lima Gugu. Lima
I
Gugu.
prefer if you told me what this was, like I said.
And he looks over to you and starts to caress your face. It's Lima Gugu.
Oh, perfect.
The essence. It's the essence of Lima Gugu. And you see that he grabs one of the bowls as well. And this Dwagar is just screaming,
Around.
and you can smell his flesh begin to burn.
I'll kind of like hand over the bowl to Isaac and just kind of, you know, nudge it towards him. Can you spice this real quick? I think it could be better.
What kind of spice?
Whatever the chef thinks is best.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Can I examine this to figure out what it is? He's not telling me.
Give me a religion or an arcana.
Or can I smell mine for nature?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you nature.
Hell yeah, dude.
For Arcana is 16.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of mucus.
14 on nature.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be like almost kind of like an ayahuasca mix that they've used the crystals, and it seems to be like some type of seaweed and fish bones and other types of fishes that are in there, and then other minerals that are only found down here in Sleeped.
You guys are
this-
totally good.
This drink's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll do a nice cinnamon.
Cinnamon,
Right.
cinnamon on
Oh,
this
fish.
fish
Oh, yeah.
slop. Fish slop.
Nice and warm.
You
Hey,
guys
yo,
are,
Hero, pass that shit, bro.
yeah, you just made some fireball.
Fine,
That's what
fine,
you made.
I'll do. Yeah, I'll try to make.
Yeah, just fireball.
Yeah,
Just made
I'll do it
fireball.
for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Should make mine like a coconut.
Oh, sure.
Malibu.
yeah, and then he's holding one as well, and then he begins to like push away the other fishes, and then you can see that he's chanting in his own native language. Skididabap, babadu, babaskrabadaba, bababa, babadu, skididababa, and they all begin to, you know, chant the same thing. and he's just screaming the whole time. And as he is screaming, you can kind of see like some type of creature materializing on top of him.
Dinner and a show.
Build-a-boop, 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 build-a-boop. And he kind of looks over, he kind of talks to you guys. He says, build-a-boop, build-a-boop, skidda-ra-pa-pa, build-a-boop. And you see this ginormous, like, frog creature, but it's like kind of like an illusionary, and it comes out of him, almost as if it's like taking at the end of his life, you know, coming out of his body, like his soul, instead of going to wherever it was meant to go, kind of got transferred over onto this creature.
Yo, you guys seeing this shit too?
Oh,
You wanna
God.
drink yours, Kel?
Dale's gone so hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
you guys all you guys all see this, and
yeah, we're seeing it, buddy.
the frog, this amphibious creature begins to like move its arms around, and its eyes start to glow like a deep purple, like the same color of the crystals. And then he says, build-a-boop, 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 and it starts to sound slower and slower every time he says it, and everything gets to get a little foggy. And then he goes up to you, and the two fish folks, the two big ones, go up to him, and they begin to like grab a rock on both of their hands, like two ginormous rocks, and begin to start smashing his skull open.
This is intense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little much.
And yeah, he tells you, he gestures for you guys to drink it, and he downs it in front of you.
Yeah, I'm downing it. I've already tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yours is coconut rum now, so
It's coconut rum.
It's
Yeah.
Malibu. It's Malibu.
me and Kale are Fireball.
Oh,
Unless
hell
you want
yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good.
It's Fireball. And yeah,
I can just change the whole flavor.
so as you guys are sitting in your you know, nice fancy little chairs, the creature begins to move erratically and fly around this area, and it splits into 4 parts, and the green fish goes onto his knees and starts to scream out, Lima goo goo, Lima goo goo, Lima goo goo goo, Lima goo goo, and kind of gestures to you guys as well. Lima goo goo, Lima goo goo.
Lima
goo goo.
And he goes onto his knees, and he keeps his mouth agape, keeps it open, and you see as this big amphibious creature, like the soul of it, starts to rush into its mouth, and the other 3 copies, as you guys are all yelling out Lima Google, begins to rush into your mouth.
Guys, I don't think we should have mixed drug. Oh.
Yeah.
Too late, bro. Fuck it.
Lima Google, and then
Ride the wave,
and you can
bro.
see as like 2 other clones come open up too, and they go to the boat where Bucky and they fly past you guys, and they go to where Bucky and Leo are located. And he says, Lima goo goo, 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 and then everything goes black.
Again, god damn it.
Something about these crystals is kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I guess we'll never
Lovely
figure it
crystals.
out.
We're gonna take a quick break right here.
Of core memory.
And we're back. As the 3 party members start to sing Lima Gugu, and their mind goes into a haze, and this amphibious creature enters their body. Kind of like, you ever watch Scooby-Doo 2? When that ghost goes inside of, I think it's Daphne's body, or Fred's body, and he becomes evil? Kind of like that if you need an image, you know? I don't know if anyone's seen Scooby-Doo 2, but it's a really good movie.
The live action one?
The live action one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They did it in the first one too. With,
Actually, the better one,
multiple ghosts.
yeah, the better one is when Fred and Daphne switch bodies. That was the best scene. Anyway,
I see the vision.
yeah, you guys don't awaken, but kind of like you feel like you're teleported through the skies, and you come down, and you kind of like, you know, feel weird. And it's kind of cold outside, and there's snow around, and you're in front of like somewhat of a dock area, and there's, you know, fishing boats and water all over, and it looks like a small town, and you guys come down and look at yourselves again, and you're not in your bodies again.
We have our memories.
No,
Damn
Isaac
it.
does.
That was-
Isaac does have his memories
Aw.
though.
Wait, so I remember where we were?
You remember this. You remember where you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But like, I just have the memories of this Isaac that's the kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Viren, you are a stocky boy. Usually Viren the Menace causes troubles, you know, lost his family a long time ago. Lucian is in the same boat. You and Lucian have been friends for a very long time, and Isaac is a good friend of yours that you guys made within the past 2 years. And as we cut down to the children playing by the docks, Lucian is sitting there very, very quiet, very to himself. And Viren is kind of like pushing him and kind of like, you know, pushing him around or whatever. And
I'd totally throw you 30 feet.
yeah, he's like pushing him around. And he's like, come on, you gotta throw the rocks, loser. Lucian inting us. And we go down to Isaac, a bright-eyed boy who just wants to be a chef as he gets older.
Do I know Geppetto yet here?
Yeah, you know Geppetto.
Like, am I his apprentice?
Not at the moment, but you are in Waterdeep, northern side of Waterdeep, near the docking area, and you have lived here for a while. You lived here in your town, and Geppetto was the one that actually, you know, brought you into his family with the loss of your parents.
That old man doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Eat a dick, dude, that he's talking about.
Hey,
Geppetto.
don't disrespect Geppetto.
Alright. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just messing with you, Viren.
just messing
I
with you.
have an intelligence of 9. I can be easily influenced.
Yeah.
And don't I know it? Isn't it lucky that I'm here? I start patting him on the shoulder. Keep you on the straight and narrow. Well, as straight and narrow as we can get. No one here wants us.
Aw.
But we'll make a name for ourselves, or my name isn't Isaac the Lynchitaru.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work on
I'll
that.
get there eventually.
Yeah.
And Lucian, being timid the way you are, you kind of just like want to interject and say something, but you just don't have the. You feel like you're always out of place whenever you're with them. You feel like you're the third wheel, literally, every single time.
Yeah.
What's
And-
wrong, Lucian?
I hit too close to home.
Who is this Geppetto guy?
Geppetto? He's the one that took me in. You know, I ransacked his kitchen to make myself food when I was hungry, and now he's suddenly talking about, oh, I got a gift. Well, maybe I don't want to be that. You know, it was fun and cool, and I loved eating the food after. you know, that's not the point right now. He's looking after me. But if I did do stuff and took over his shop, then I could have a 4-syllable last name.
Yeah. And
That's the dream.
as you guys are hanging around,
Yeah.
you're skipping rocks, you hear footsteps behind you, and you see an older lady come up in front of you, and she looks at all of you. Lucian and Viren, what did I tell you about staying out so late without letting me know?
I don't remember.
And she goes and grabs Viren by his ear and starts to drag him.
Damn.
Gosh, I can't believe you guys staying out past curfew like this.
You need to wash
I'm
up
shaking my head.
before the opening of Geppetto's Pizzeria.
Why? I'm just gonna get dirty later anyways.
They
Wait, they don't
formerly
need to wash up. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation on Viren.
Yeah, you cast Prestidigitation, and he still kind of just smells. Wow, fancy trick you got there.
Sorry, I can only clean or scent right now. I'm still learning. And I chose clean.
I think I smell great.
I think I smell good. And as you
I
guys
smell like Axe.
as you guys look up Axe body spray. As you guys look up, Lucian and Viren actually live at the orphanage, and the lady's name is Anne, who runs the orphanage.
Is she evil?
She evil? Is that what you said?
Yeah, is she evil?
What?
Yeah, we gotta get his
She
priorities
runs an
straight.
orphanage. Is she
Skyrim.
evil?
Yeah, I
This
hear
Iron
orphans nothing
lady.
evil.
No, she's. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can find out later. She's fucking evil.
I mean, you guys would probably force it into the plot line somehow, just like with the
Yeah, just
Taylor
like.
and Sad.
Yeah, no, that was not my fault. That was a battle Xavier chose.
Yeah, and
Throw the evil matriarch.
yeah, he says you'll meet Isaac later. We're gonna wash up, and you're gonna make sure you're all fancy and fancy. I can't have you guys going to the mayor's house looking like that. I know you're orphans, but it doesn't matter.
I have to wear a shirt.
Yeah, you have to wear a shirt. Come over here. And he just drags him. Just drags
We have
him.
to be repping, yo. In orphan getting.
What?
What did you?
Maybe you should stick to
Lucian.
being shy, bro.
This is-
No, Lucian.
Oh.
Lucian, express yourself if you're trying new things. I'll support it.
Yeah, and they both follow her into this house over here, and she looks over to you, Isaac, and she says, "Go back to Geppetto's house and get cleaned up. You should probably even help him, honestly."
What does he need my help for?
If you're gonna
Okay,
take over,
bye. Ah.
your friends will catch up with you in a minute. And yeah, Geppetto's house is over here on the other side of the. And he runs off. Isaac runs off. As you come over to this bigger house, it is only house. Well, there's a few other houses over here, but a smaller house, and it is an exact replica of what you can imagine is a Pizza Hut.
Wow.
It's like you know how like those like buildings that they build Pizza Huts in. That's what it looks like. Ah, you gotta find one. Yeah, you gotta find one, eh?
I gotta find what?
It's quite a fine day, isn't it? You had fun with your friends.
Yeah, I did.
Well, we got work to
But-
do, son.
Work?
What do you mean? How are you gonna take over the shop? You need to learn the trade.
If I'm gonna take over the shop, then I should learn everything, including the dragon spice recipe.
And he just starts to laugh. And he goes down onto one knee looking at you, eye level. If you really believe that you want to learn the spice recipe, and you really believe that you're going to take over this and become the best chef around, you got to learn the basics. No chef that I've ever known has ever, just jumped into the kitchen and whipped something up and just immediately knew what he was doing. Huh.
I bet I could.
I bet you could too. But get on ready. I got to finish up making these pizzas for the mayor.
Yes, sir.
And you go in. Then we're going to loop back to the other two. You come into this house, and there's a bunch of other kids. There's no kids in there right now, but there's a bunch of other kids screaming and yelling all around. And you can see that Anne is kind of like trying to do her best to wrangle all these kids and put them, you know, make sure that they wash themselves and clean themselves and stuff. There's about a bunch of little beds everywhere. All right, boys, go wash up.
Alright. Fine. Already washed today.
I already watched today. And
He
yeah,
did. I saw it.
and then she looks over to you and says, "Lucius, you don't always need to cover for him. We already know Viren is the bad kid."
Yeah, shut up, nerd.
What? What do you say to
But
me?
thanks, though.
What do you say to me? And she kind of like, you know,
Really?
she brushes you guys all away from each other, and then she tells she tells Viren to go shower first. And you're just gonna head to the back of the house. And she looks over to you, Lucian, and she says, "I have a treat for you." And she goes over and she goes underneath her bed and grabs a box. And inside the box, there's a book, and she hands it over to you.
That's not a treat. That's a book.
Yes, I know. I know you love to read. I see you reading all the time, every night. Faerunian folktales. I used to read this when I was younger.
Did it have the ones about the city of the dead?
I don't really recall that one.
Oh,
But we have other fairy tales, the princess and the bog, and the Kuatoa that lived. The Kuatoa that turned into a beautiful female. And then Beauty and the Feast, you know? The best ones.
oh, well, that'll have to do, I suppose.
I have a very important job for you. I know that you're most likely the timid one here, but I need you to lead the rest of the kids. I need them to be as bright and amazing as you are. Maybe before bed, you can read for everybody.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, and then she hears a bunch of noises coming out from the side, from the back, and then she sees bubbles coming out from underneath the door. Viren, what are you doing?
Viren's just like in the corner and not touching the shower water at all.
It's just all running out.
I said I'm already clean.
Viren, and you see that she goes in there and she has like a spank paddle, and she goes into the room. And then you hear you just hear like a little bit of like slapping around, and then you see some of the bubbles get cleaned up.
And then Viren walks out and like wiping his hands up. Like, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Brawler
Do you mean
feet.
he-
I'm just kidding.
Do you mean he limps out?
yeah, he limps out, red cheeks in his butt.
Why you guys looking at my cheeks?
Stop looking at my cheeks. Then we're gonna go back to Isaac real quick.
Isaac's walking around now with like the signature chef outfit, what he wears, but it's way too big on him, carrying a bunch of plates to set tables, and he's just like, all right, everyone get to work. That's undercooked. Like it's all wobbly, like
And,
way too much that he can carry.
Yeah, Geppetto's like working the oven and putting all the sauces on and getting everything ready, and he's just looking over at you, and he kind of just has a smile and laughs.
I use this anvil as a footstool.
And it was a footstool to start working on the kitchen.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, he comes up to him, and he lays about 5 different pies onto this table, and then another 5 onto the other table. You see, when making pizza, making sure that the dough is as amazing as you can make it be. But the second most important thing is the sauce. Do you understand?
Sauce.
The sauce that you mix on, and he grabs his home cooked sauce, and he starts to put it on top and stuff.
But if the sauce is so good, shouldn't we put a bunch more on?
Well, it depends on the person ordering. If they require more sauce, if they want more sauce, then we put more sauce on it. If they want more cheese, we can add more cheese.
So it's like a template before it gets personalized by each person. It's like every dish is its own unique dish.
Here at Papa Geppetto's, we make pizzas for all, no matter what your liking is. And you too are gonna eventually take over.
That's right. I should start now.
Yeah, and he hands you like the cheese to sprinkle on onto all the pizzas.
All right, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, and you're able to evenly sprinkle everything perfectly or whatever. And then he shows you he grabs a stick to grab the pizza and puts it into the oven. He's like, this is the most important part right here. The fourth most important part, because I already gave you two.
Wait, what's the third? We missed the third.
I'll tell you the third after we're done.
Oh, okay.
And he starts to pump the oven. He's like, and he keeps, he's keeping eye level with the oven and the flames, because you have to keep it at a certain temperature. If it gets too hot, you're gonna burn it.
But what if we can cook it faster?
How are we gonna cook this faster?
Make it hotter.
No, if you make it hotter, it's just gonna burn. It has to stay at a steady temperature in order for it to mix all together, for the cheese to melt perfectly, for the sauce to set itself.
There's so much. I'm just gonna start taking notes.
He starts writing notes and stuff. Yeah, and then about like an hour goes by, and then you go and wash up as well, and you're wearing like some nice little formal attire that you have, it's like a little suit. And then Lucian and Viren, you guys can come up over here too. So you walked over to Geppetto's house.
And are we dirty again?
Yeah, you guys all have your little formal attire and everything.
How's my camera?
While on the way there, can I try to like wrestle Vernon for the nerd comments?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
So
you
we
should
can, like,
try that.
Yeah, you can try that. He's like, yeah, you can try that. Where are you?
I'm gonna tell you, I rolled these stats.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I also rolled, but I was fucking made to nerf myself, so.
But yeah, I would nerf a little bit because you're kids, That was.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking bully, bro.
I'm bullied.
I rolled 4 6s for my dex, but I had to make it a fucking
Oh,
11.
that's tough.
Yeah, come on over here to the front. We'll just say you guys are over here in the street, like next to about to get to Geppetto's house.
Oh, I was trying to remember how to do that. Alright.
So I'm kind of walking behind him, and then I'm just like, I'll show you who's a nerd.
And he kind of like
Oh,
nudges you. Kind of just nudges you forward.
Damn. So I can't drag us down into the mud.
You're gonna try to do what?
Like drag us down into the mud.
Oh, you're trying to drag him down. You need to do. You both need to do a test of strength.
I got a 16.
You got a what?
Got a 16.
22, baby.
It's ridiculous.
I just like fucking grab your face as you're like pushing me and just throw you down.
Just throw him down. And your clothes get immediately dirty with mud. The nice pressed clothes.
Okay, can I grab some mud from the ground and throw it at him?
Yeah, you can throw it at him. Yeah, you just throw. I'm not gonna have you roll for it. You immediately just throw it and it lands on his face. And Viren, you have to taste the mud in your mouth.
Swallow it.
Disgusting. Give me a con save. Fuck that.
You're gonna call it, right?
That guy, bro. Never mind. 6.
Yeah, you immediately start to kind of like puke a little bit.
Isaac's just here at the window, like.
Yeah, looking out. Isaac is looking out the window, and you see them fucking fighting each other outside.
The band's here,
Like
man.
look up from like being hunched over, throwing up, and to like kind of do like a drunk fucking wave at Isaac.
Yeah, and then
I was like shaking my head.
Geppetto comes. Geppetto kind of hears the ruckus that's going on outside.
Wait, Geppetto, wait,
Oh, okay.
wait. I think those were just stray dogs.
Okay.
You don't
Well-
you don't need to
Woo,
see
woo, woo.
what's going on there.
Ooh.
I guess you'll.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get everything ready. So whatever it is, go see real quick.
Oh, sure thing.
Just so you know, Viren wasn't trying to be a dog. He just made that noise because
Yeah, and as you come outside, you see they're like on like somewhat impoverished but dress attire that they can have. Everything's like mixed match colors, but now there's mud on everything.
What are you two doing?
we came to help.
This place has a dress code.
We're dressed.
We're dressed.
Why are you two
I even
fighting
put a
again?
shirt on.
Viren has like
Oh,
a
I
5
wasn't fighting.
Viren has like a 5 o'clock shadow being a kid.
We're 8 or something.
You're like 10
I
years
wasn't
old, yeah.
fighting. We were playing this game like who can get thrown in the mud faster, and he lost.
Yeah.
That didn't look like a game. You guys, we're supposed to be brothers. Once I make you big, you guys can join in the Lynchatar name. That still feels like
Yeah.
I'm pushing it a little bit.
And then we could do pizza sauce instead of mud.
I guess.
Oh, the pizza sauce is
Marinara
for
restaurant.
the customer. Well, and I'm like flipping through the notes I was taking. Look, wasted food is not meant to be served in this kitchen
But
because
Isaac,
it doesn't exist. We don't waste anything.
Yeah, and then
What?
Jap-
We'll eat it after.
Big pie in the middle of the restaurant, and then we wrestle in the marinara.
and then Geppetto finally comes out and sees you guys all
Wait, what?
talking.
We had $1 million idea going on there.
Isaac.
I'm gonna run over and try to press the digitation.
Yeah, try to press the station real quick. Yeah, roll
I could
roll a
just
sleight of
do
hand.
L instead.
Roll a sleight of hand for me.
Okay. That's I rolled. Oh, I'm on the wrong character sheet. I got the jack of all trades. I got an 18 and plus 0, so 18.
18. Yeah, you immediately like as the doors are opening and you're about to Geppetto is about to come out. You cast prestidigitation on who? Lucius or Viren? Because they both have mud on them now.
These are the tough choices you have to make.
Yeah.
Do Lucius so it doesn't look like I bullied him.
No, I do Viren and pull him in front of Lucius here
Yeah, he's
to
bigger
body
than him.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucius
well, I
will remember
try
this.
and get Lucius before Geppetto notices too.
Hi. Welcome, boys. Ready for some work? Where's
That's what we're here for.
is Lucian? Where is he?
He's around.
Mm.
I'm
Digitate.
hiding.
Sheesh.
And then I
Yeah.
like spin around, do the jazz hands.
Oh,
Fucking-
Lucian. I always knew you were different.
What do you mean?
There's
Then he-
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
Yeah, and he comes and he's like, whatever you like, Lucian, it's what you like. And I will never judge you.
A bit of
Yeah,
pizzazz.
Pizzazz. And you know what I mean by that. I mean, like, into art. That's what I mean. In musicals. Anyway. And he goes in and
I
he,
don't think he's-
yeah. And he kind of goes up to Viren and he, like, you know, grabs him by the shoulders and kind of shakes him a little bit and then gives him a little bump on his chest. Ah, you're getting strong, huh?
Yeah.
What, are you out here
when
lifting
I was
weights?
born. Well, I
Just
mean,
lifting Lucian.
yeah, and also
Lucius.
Lucian.
Lifting Lucian, yeah. Lucian is kind of a fragile boy. Anyway.
He's a lot heavier than you think.
Yeah, and he goes in and he gestures all of you to come in and start grabbing like some of the pies and pizzas and stuff. All right, we got a few of them to
That's
bring
what's
into the
on
mayor's house.
the mayor's house.
Yeah, he's
You should have said we were going to the mayor's house.
why do you think you're all dressed up? He wants to try our ingredients. We're the first ones to have it here in town.
All right, guys, we need to get into serious mode. This is our chance to make a name for ourselves even more. Maybe the mayor will adopt you guys.
I heard you, CBUC.
I don't think so.
We gotta be optimistic.
And yeah, as you guys are walking out, he has a bunch of pies. You guys are all holding a bunch of pies and everything.
Nice.
And who's missing? We're missing one person. Oh, there. You guys are all there. Okay, you guys are all walking, and he's like talking to you guys as you guys are walking down the road and stuff. You know what my dream always been, boys?
I thought your dream came
You
true
give up,
already.
boys?
No, of course. This is part of my dream. If I love what I do. This is, you know, being able to bring happiness to everybody with just the art of food, of course.
Marry a tall Amazonian
Where did you learn about that?
in a book. I can't read, but the pictures were super cool.
Yeah.
I guess for me, my wife type wouldn't matter as long as she ate the food I made.
Isaac, you have to ensure that you're, you know, whatever maiden you end up with, it has to be, you know, beautiful. Not saying that it has to be, but, you know, most likely.
Oh. I mean, it probably will happen, especially once I've entered the status of the Elder Council.
Yeah, and as you walk by,
We'll be colleagues.
there's a priestess who's sitting there, and she's like, smells delicious. Geppetto, what'd you make this time? Oh, you know, my world famous pizza. Oh, quite lucky. You know, you can always come by whenever you want, Lisbeth. No, of course. I have my duties here at the church. We have to do our rounds. And he says, please, I insist, priestess. Once the night's over, come by and we'll have some extra. We can give it to we're gonna give some to the orphanage as well.
Guys, this is
Pizza.
Riz.
And she kind of
Guys,
just like,
we can have pizza at the mayor's house and then go to your house at the orphanage and get more.
Geppetto, thank you for saving all the orphans.
Economy.
no, I only chose
Good
one.
job, Geppetto.
I
But you
specifically
chose the best one,
specifically
and I'll
chose
bring the
one.
rest with me.
Yeah, and
once I make it to the
it's only
top.
because it was a favor to your parents. It has nothing to do with anything.
Oh,
Yeah, and as you
Thanks
guys
for loaning me a Ferrari last week.
walk by, you guys see a statue of a knight in armor, and it says first knight of the round table. And he looks over and he says, "You see right there? That's what you need to be, the king of queens."
what?
Armors for pussies.
Okay, weirdo.
Hey, watch your parent. Say,
I agree with you.
don't do that language in the when we go to the mayor's
Sorry.
office. I also will barely, wear the bare minimum of armor in the future. I suspect, but
I suspect.
still, just watch the language at the mayor's place.
Yeah. And you guys come into the mayor's house, and it is two parts the mayor's house, but it's also like he has his own bar and stuff over here that he runs, and he has a bunch of stables. It's like the biggest house here in the middle of Northern Waterdeep, and you see a bunch of ladies that are outside and people, and they're all greeting Geppetto and like giving him handshakes and stuff. There I go the wrong spot.
Why did
I'm
Geppetto
gonna
talk to so
follow-
many women?
I want to follow behind Geppetto and try to. Oh wait, I'm holding shit. Yeah, I'm gonna try and introduce us to everyone too.
Yeah, 1 second. I just gotta find two characters. I don't know where I put them. Where did I put these guys?
What's our name, Isaac? What's the group name?
I'm reading the group name.
Oh. The pasta tears.
The Posseteers.
Pastateers.
Yeah.
The three pastateers.
And we'll move over here.
Are we gonna beat up children?
No.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna fight
we're
other
gonna
If it
children.
comes to it,
Multi
I
chance,
cast
that's no chance.
shocking grass.
Yeah,
Uh,
so oh my goodness.
that's
So
just the first session.
yeah, so Geppetto's like, he's greeting everybody and speaking to everybody here, and the mayor comes up and he starts to speak to Geppetto, and you hear that, you see that they're talking and stuff, and he kind of like tells him to go inside and like set up whatever he needs to. So yeah, of course. And behind him is a woman, and she is just immaculate. Red hair, green eyes, fair skin. And you can see as Geppetto is talking to the mayor, he kind of like stops for a second and then turns over and says, "And how are you, Valeska?" "Oh, I'm quite fine. And you?" "Could not be better." And he goes down on like one knee to kind of like, you know, gesture to kiss her hand, and she allows it.
Geppetto's a ladies' man.
Can we all work for him?
And the mayor turns, I was
I'll
like,
ask him. He's
now,
busted.
I'm not gonna allow you to get into my family this way.
What?
Cock block.
Geppetto doesn't need to get into your family.
Oh, and who is this?
He's already an honorary member of the council. Why do we even need a mayor? Everyone likes listening to them more.
And Geppetto kind of like, you know, pushes against you a little bit to like, kind of like shut your mouth.
Ah,
Not push you, but just like, you know,
Oh.
kind of nudges you.
Abuse.
I'm sorry. I'm just young and rambunctious. I'm excited to serve these pizzas.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys all
That
go.
made a statement.
Yeah, you guys all go in. Let me set up the tables over here.
Like,
gonna be a lot
Bucky's
of
gonna
milk.
wish he was here.
No,
Yeah.
now, later, I get to act like I learned that the mayor is good and he'll like me better.
Possibly.
And then I'll get into his family. Well, this is what Isaac's telling Viren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
His
mayor's gonna
master
look
plan.
like
I
he's
think.
allowed to
Always
find
have
the
a
throne
plan,
again.
Viren.
Yeah, so they
Wait,
bring
what
you
did you say?
they bring you in, and then they instruct you to like put the pizzas down, and you know, everyone's setting up, and there's drinks and everyone's enjoying themselves.
Oh, shit.
You guys just place yourselves wherever, no matter. There's
What price
nobility
do
of
I have
what?
if I meet lovers?
What did you say?
Like, what price do I have? What am I carrying?
What are you carrying? You have your book.
So
I thought we were carrying pizzas and shit.
Oh yeah, you guys are all carrying pizzas on you, but you have your book on your person, the book that was given to you.
Yeah, but I'm asking, do you
I'm
have like
carrying
a
a
meat
swab
lovers
and
or
in a bucket.
Oh, you're asking specifically?
a dillinger?
Yeah, you got like
deep dish.
you guys got some you guys have some New York style pizza,
I got-
pepperoni, and then you also got meat lovers, and then you got regular. Extra cheese.
Extra cheese for the cheese guy.
Yeah, and then the Italian, the fucking what's it called? The Geppetto special. Cut onions, extra cheese, Italian sausage. What are you laughing about?
Extra cheese one next to the fucking.
I'm trying to be in
wolf
character
guy.
for my 8 intelligence.
he's
person.
just like he's just laughing. Yeah, and the night goes on. That doesn't really go. Yeah, it goes on for a second, and then you guys are all enjoying yourself, and you can see that Geppetto is kind of like talking to Valeska over here. They're sitting by the fireplace, and they're having their own conversation. And the mayor comes up to the three boys. I haven't really seen you around here. Where are you guys from?
I'm an orphan.
Interesting. Would have never suspected such. Quite nice attire you have here, even though they're mismatched a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
And you, what is that book you have in your hand?
I'll put book behind my back and. What book?
The book you were holding.
I'll drop the book behind my back.
You drop it,
What book?
and he grabs it and then lifts it up.
Well,
Oh, favorite fairy tales. One of my favorites when I was a kid. Whoever gave you this really knows their stuff.
You like fairy tales too?
Why, of course. You think I was just some mayor one day and I just wasn't a kid?
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's quite dense, isn't he?
Hey, if I knew what that meant, I'd be really mad.
He's all heart. but he doubled the grit.
Geppetto said that you're gonna
Yeah.
take over the business. Is that correct, Isaac?
That's right.
You have to
Then-
understand how important
and
this
then-
is, right? How important that business is.
Yes, the owner of Geppetto's Pizzeria has a word in the ear of all members of the council.
No, yeah, of course.
Basically, a member themselves.
Well, what he didn't tell you was, did you know that Geppetto actually worked for me? He was originally my
What?
chef.
He didn't always own the restaurant.
No.
Then
He
who
mass-
owned Geppetto's Pizzeria before Geppetto did?
It was simply a building, but now it's
Oh.
Geppetto's Pizza. You know, before
I
before
add that to my note, my notebook.
before a business becomes a business, it was just a building. You know.
Yes, I understand now.
Yeah, and yeah, the night goes on, and everyone's talking and having their own jolly good old time, and then the doors bust open. And a man with pecs, immaculate, and beautiful, stunning hair comes in. And you're all talking, and you know, Geppetto is sitting by the fire talking to Valeska, and he kind of just stops and looks. Hey, Geppetto. I didn't think I'd see your sorry ass here.
What?
Who invited Giovanni? The mayor invited me, of course. And then he looks over, he's like, no, Geppetto. It's simply a business meeting, that's all we're having here. I don't want anything to do with that guy, he's a fraud. That's no way to speak to one of your best friends. And behind them, there's three children that come up behind them.
Perfect.
Leo.
You say Leo?
That's
This is the one he.
Oh yeah, Leo's motto. Yeah, it was
Last
Leo's motto. It was Leo's motto. Yeah, you're right. Leo, what are you doing in this university with the?
crossover episode.
Yeah, and he comes in and he gallantly walks up and he kind of sits at the same table as the mayor and Geppetto, and you can kind of see that there's like a tense situation showing up, happening.
Oh, you're here for the party too.
Yeah, and then he looks over. He looks over to Geppetto. He says, "Funny you saying I'm the fraud. You're the one who took my recipe. Your recipe? It wasn't yours. We both made that on our own. Yeah, you're over here reaping the benefits. Now, men. I brought you both here for a reason. You're the only two people in Faerun that know how to make this recipe. The only two that have mastered it. We can come to some type of agreement. And, you know, we can monopolize this. That's what we're here for, right? Make money. You think I'm gonna work with that guy? I don't want anything to do with him. I don't want anything to do with you either." And they kind of just like, you know, their arms crossed and they're kind of just like looking away and like drinking. And then the two kids, they come up to you. Or the three kids come up to you. And one of them goes up to Isaac.
Good day, Isaac de Linchitar at your service.
I guess they weren't lying when they were saying that the ugliest people live around here.
Hey, Lucius
I
isn't
beg your
ugly.
pardon?
I beg your pardon.
Wait, Viren, calm down. I've seen this before. This is when people lash out due to their own insecurities. Look, you're not that bad, my good fellow.
Yeah.
We're all nobles
He's just in the
here.
background. He's like, yeah.
He palms his face up in the air a bit, like.
Yeah. And who's that scrawny little fool back there?
I'll beat you, fuck.
I'll beat your fucking ass. I'll beat your fucking ass. Where are you? Where is your character, Lucius? Oh,
I'm
you're
right
just.
next to
He's
him.
right
Oh,
next
you're
to
ready.
him.
Yeah, I'll put you over here. Let's say you're over here.
Actually, I would like to be
Hey.
here.
Don't misjudge him. He reads books and shit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. But he reads books and yeah.
just like I fucking thought. Two freaking losers. Who reads books?
People know how to
Loser.
read.
Yeah, and then you kind of see as he kind of like, you know, takes his hat out and it has like he puts it on his head, and then the other boy puts a hat on his head as well, and it has a logo of a pizza on it, and one of them has a big M on it and the other one has a big L on it.
You guys look like you're straight out of a video game that would get
Yeah,
copyrighted very easily.
Where's E?
What'd you say?
I said, I'm like, where's A and E? Just spell out the rest of the lane.
Lame. You got no business making fun of my name. I'm Marcio. This is Luigiano. We're gonna take over this town. You got nothing against my dad. He's more handsome than yours.
I
Kinda
doubt
weird.
it. My... Oh,
No, you're good. That was all I was gonna say.
no, you're right. That is kind of weird. I didn't know we had a daddy's boy here. Guys, this guy has a dad.
Yes, this guy has.
This loser has a dad. I bet he has a mom too.
Yeah, imagine having parents.
Oh my god. Okay, roll performance for that. See if it actually hurt.
Who?
For performance is 12.
Oh, 12? Yeah, let me see what they get. Marcio, the guy, the kid on the right, begins to just like, you know, take it, but then Luigiano, the one on the left who's starting to say, he starts to kind of like tear up a little bit. And then you see as a little girl comes up to him and kind of like consoles him. Don't make fun of my brother that way. You're a bunch of losers anyway. And then finally,
We gotta lose.
yeah, as you guys are like kind of like scuffling a little bit, it's getting a little bit louder. Giovanni and Geppetto kind of like break you guys up. Hey, we got nothing to do with these guys. I know they're a bunch of losers, as you guys were saying, but you know, you can't just be running amok around here. And he kind of like slaps Luigiano on the back of the head. And Geppetto kind of like pulls you out of the way. Well, Pops, what was that
public child
for?
abuse again, okay? All right.
What was that for, Pops? They were trying to make fun of our name. How about you control your kid, Geppetto? You ever think about that?
Maybe you can do it.
Yeah, Geppetto kind of like turns. He turns over to the side and he's like, "We all know that your kid started it. It had nothing to do with mine." Then the mayor kind of like buds in. Now, gentlemen. Back to our business proposition. You know, being the only people, as I said in Faerun, that can make this, we could have our own empire. Our own empire of, he kind of like moves his hand out. Our own empire of pizza, chain, restaurants. Imagine that. Giovanni and Geppetto. G&G. And we'll call it... I don't have a name yet. But G&G sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And he kind of turns over to the mayor, Giovanni. You really think I'm going to be working with a clown like that? I got nothing but bad stuff to say about him. Please, man. There's a lot of money coming your way. Isn't that what you're here for, right? Start a new life. That got nothing to do with anything. And he kind of like looks over and he looks past the mayor. And ooh la la. Who's that dime a dozen over there? He pushes over the mirror and kind of walks up to Valeska. And he, brushes his hair and, shows his little abs because he has like a really tight shirt on. And he goes on one knee as well to kiss her hand. And she agrees.
I cast from, because prestidigitation has a 10-foot range. So through under the table here, try to make him smell like Lima Gugu.
Smell like Lima Gugu. Yeah, do a stealth. And do a sleight of hand.
That's a 9 for the stealth and a 17 for the sleight of hand.
Okay. Let me see what they say. Alright, let's see who sees. As you are going and you're about to cast prestidigitation and kind of like hide it, the mayor kind of sees you and kind of like slaps your hand down. Isaac, what are you doing? Why are you casting spells
just
inside of my
praying.
house?
He called children losers and no one said anything. A grown man.
The grown man called us losers. You're not gonna ruin this deal for me, okay?
That doesn't sound like there's a deal, Mr. Mayor.
Mayor Brimstone.
I'm gonna hide
You
behind
know,
Viren.
you know my name.
You don't visit the orphanage a lot, so I haven't seen you much my whole life.
And the scene unfolds in front of you, and she kind of like allows him to kiss her hand, and she begins to blush a little bit. And Geppetto goes up to him and kind of like buttles in, and they all start to speak together. If I would have known there was such fine pieces over here, I would have came here earlier. And she's like, just can't do anything else, huh, Giovanni? Can't find your own dame. And what you saying? You saying this is yours? And he kind of looks over to her, like, gesturing is like, are you with him? And she kind of just like looks confused for a second. Yeah, Valeska's with me. What about it? You don't look like a man can handle something like that. And within like a suit of rage, Geppetto goes in and socks Giovanni straight in the mouth.
Why?
Okay, I'll try to punch Marzio.
You're gonna punch Marzio right after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, roll.
And can
You're gonna get a
I punch
scene.
and then... But punch and then bonus action. Punch my second punch because I'm a monk.
Yeah, you can punch again, and we're gonna roll initiative after that.
Blitz him.
Blitz him.
Okay. So, first punch is 16 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
and the bonus action, but other punch is 18 to hit.
Yeah, you hit with both. He socks him 2 punches.
For a combined 10 bludgeoning damage.
Like, yeah, dude.
After a jab and then a hook.
Yeah, Martial immediately falls to the ground from that one fucking hit.
I fucking told you.
And
And he kind of trails off, and he like speaks up, and then trails off because he realizes that he can't get it out.
yeah, but okay, so we're not even gonna go into initiative mode. We don't even need to do that. He socks him in the face. He socks him in the face, and then Luigiano goes and tries to go smack Lucius to defend his brother. And like all chaos goes out, and they're fighting. They're going over the table and stuff. Let me see if he hits you. 12. Does a 12 hit you?
Lucius.
Lucius.
Yes, it does.
He does. He only does 1 damage. He does 1 damage to you.
That hurts. We're a glass cannon here.
Yeah, you literally like sock this kid in the face. And
Here and fucking suplex him.
yeah, and then yeah, they're still fighting in the back, and then yeah, you could do something if you want, Viren. I'll give you a shot.
Viren picks up the fucking stool that's right beside him, like raises it above his head.
I think that's has to be like 1d8 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I'll do like
Oh,
a
I have.
Weapon.
Well, I'm proficient with. I have Tavern Brawler as my
yeah,
arsenal.
improvised weapon.
Improvised weapon. How do I roll that? I've never done this before.
So for improvised weapon, it's like a certain D. I think it's like a D6 or something because it goes from like a D4. But then if you have proficiency, I'm pretty sure it goes to like a D6 or like a D8, something like that. And if you're throwing it, you're just gonna, roll. You're just gonna roll an armor strike to like hit him with it, or unless you're just gonna smack him with it.
Nah, yeah, I was just gonna smack the shit out of this kid with. The stool.
What is this duel? Okay, yeah, yeah. Just roll the attack, and then under improvised weapon, it should tell you what D roll you need to roll for that. What
All right,
dice?
it's a 20 to hit.
A 20 what?
22 to hit.
Yeah, he fucking hit this kid.
Then that plus this, it'll be 9 damage.
9 damage.
Stool.
Yeah, this Luigiano gets knocked out, and the little girl behind them starts to shriek. And
While that's
yeah, yeah, you can go. You can do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna say while they're doing that, Isaac's here at the table like getting pizzas on the plate, because he knew his friends would knock them out. Everyone underestimates Lucius. I've seen what he does when no one's looking, like his martial arts.
He's like punching the wall, punching brick walls and stuff when no one's looking.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have 2 plates of pizza, and I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, help them up.
Yeah, but as you're about to do that, Giovanni is like bloodied, and he goes and picks up both of his kids, and then
He lost 2?
he starts to walk out, and then he turns around, and then I ain't working with none of ya. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna do it the way that I want it. You are a freaking loser, Geppetto. You will be nowhere without me, and you know that. And he walks out with him.
Yeah, kids are losers.
Kids are losers. He walks out with, and the girl just, she's still kind of crying with her little teddy bear, and she walks out with him.
Bye.
Love monks.
Good thing we're orphans, or we'd really be in trouble.
This is good to hear.
I think we're in even more trouble because of that.
Yeah, and the kerfuffle kind of stops for a second, and the mayor is like, you can see in his face, he's like enraged about what just happened. You simply couldn't be friends for 2 seconds, could you? 2
We were
seconds.
friends.
That's all I asked
We were
for.
definitely friends for a
And
lot longer than 2 seconds.
No, he's like talking to Geppetto. 2 fucking seconds. That's all I fucking asked for. That's all you had to do. I ain't working with him. I told you already, I don't want anything to do with him. 2 greatest chefs in Faerun, making the most delectable dish possible. And this is how you decide to act. You're despicable. All of you get out of my house. Valeska, let's go. And he takes the woman, and they begin to walk off. And you kind of see that Geppetto's kind of like, he looks kind of sad that he kind of like acted a fool in front of the woman.
I thought that was so cool.
I take a box of pizza for the orphanage.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
we
can-
need one for the church too.
Biren's gonna take a slice of pizza out of one of the boxes and just stuff it in his pocket.
Just stuff in his pocket.
Pocket pizza.
Pocket pizza.
I feel like we should call this a hot pocket or something.
Hot pocket or something. Trademarked. And
As
as you,
being high, like transferred over to the Viren.
yeah, as you guys can see, like, he's upset, and Giovanni is outside kind of like, trying to tend to his kids' wounds, and then you hear them as they're out there. Oop.
Biren will kind of like drop the stool, just set as soon as he sees the kids like getting tended to, just drops the stool outside.
And you hear as they're talking outside, I swear, Pops, I would have knocked that clown out if he didn't grab the stool. Yeah, Dad, they're a bunch of losers. Yeah, I know. And you guys are just sitting there or standing there as you kind of walk by Giovanni and Geppetto, and they kind of have like a death stare on each of their faces. And he's like, come on, kids. We don't want anything to do with these clowns.
Lucian's just gonna like shadow box a bit towards the.
Yeah, shadow boxers. Yeah, and then you guys go back to Giovanni's shop. I mean, sorry, to Geppetto's shop.
That was a clean right hook, Geppetto.
Yeah, you leave him there, and then you guys all go back to Geppetto's house.
Those kids got fucking fucked up.
He's literally he fucking one shot at both the kids.
Fucking quick 1-2.
Yeah, growing up as an orphan, we're so strong.
Yeah, those books are heavy, man.
And he comes in, and you know, there's a few other pizzas in here, and he immediately goes to the back and grabs a drink and begins to drink right here in front of you guys.
Can I have some?
No, of course, Viren. Come on, right here.
Yay.
Quite an attack I saw you guys do out there. Thank you for getting my back. It just wasn't the right time to do such things. And I know I'm the one
Yeah,
who instigated it, but it's never the right thing to do.
Felt pretty right.
Violence isn't always the answer.
They were rude jerks, and they ruined the atmosphere of the dining area. If you ask me, they deserved it.
Isaac, you'll learn in this world that violence, as I said, isn't always the answer. Show how good you are with the art that you take, with cooking, culinary skills. And that will speak way more words than a fist to the mouth.
This
Or
is
a
my
stool.
flashback from the first episode.
And he gives it to Viren, and you know, Viren, you take back a shot, and it's a Red Dragon Crush, your favorite.
Oh no.
In all universes.
In
know.
every universe, I will take a drink of Red Dragon.
A Red Dragon Crush, you always drink.
My next D&D character ever will be a bartender who only serves Red Dragon Crush.
Yeah, and
Yeah, the
Wanna be a-
artificer with
You're
that
a red
flash.
dragon.
Yeah.
and
You're a red dragon born.
he kind of looks over all of you, and then he says, "The city's gonna change. I hope that I have the three of you to, you know, assist me." Oh, it's gonna rain over here.
We'll be the ones that make the change, Geppetto.
No, I quite hope so.
Yeah, Isaac, we'll be your enforcers.
That's right. No one's gonna mess with my choices when I have these two backing me up.
Yeah, and then he gives Lucius a drink, and he gives Isaac a drink. Well,
Sure.
to being men, and he puts his cup out.
Cheers.
Cheers, and
Dude.
you guys all take a shot back, and then yeah,
So strong.
we fast
So
forward,
much flavor.
and we're gonna go on a break here real quick.
Woo.
Yep, are you leaving soon? And we're back. Are you guys all here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're just missing Viren. Give him a minute.
Okay.
Play. Wait, wasn't Clay like getting pizza before this session started? Kind of fitting.
Who was gonna? Yeah, he actually got pizza today. It's actually really funny.
He's getting immersed.
Guys, the restaurant does French cuisine too. It's just no one orders it ever.
Yeah,
They
so
want the
don't
famous
make it.
pizza. Yeah. But there's
If no one orders
ingredients.
it, they don't make it.
Yeah.
I will roll a D100 for fun. Let's see what I get.
98.
Oh,
98.
I've got a... So like the... Out of last 5 D100 I've rolled, 100, 99, and now 98 after like 2, none of those.
Damn.
What's...
You gotta be careful what's gonna happen when you hit 0 and then -1.
Yeah. You still here, Clay, or are you gone? Well,
Oh,
you
my
get.
block is gone.
Yeah, okay. We'll put him over here real quick.
Yeah, Mirren always has to do his daily workouts.
Yeah. So, we fast forward about 6 or 7 years into the future. I'm gonna say exactly 6. 6 years into the future. Geppetto's Pizzeria has, made a name for itself here, and on the actual shop, he actually named it the King of Queens. He has like Geppetto's Pizzeria, but on the bottom he has another name that he's given it to, King of Queens, as like also known as.
Oh.
So
And-
Geppetto's is like the chain, and then this is the
Oh, I'm not
King of
assigned
Queen's
to
location.
Isaac.
I got you. Okay. And it's normal working hours, normal working day. Everything's busy, and Isaac is in there and he's cooking up already. He's getting his stuff ready, plating everything up. He's kind of like running everything, and Geppetto's actually just like in the background. And Lucius, you also work there, but you do more of you assist when you can, but you do more of like customer service and stuff, like getting the pies and stuff to people. And Viren isn't here at the moment. All right, boys, we got about 10 more orders, and then we can call it quits for today. How's it coming,
10
Isaac?
orders.
Yeah, you know how
Only
busy it
10
is. Yeah.
orders? I'm gonna get
know what,
so
quick-
bored for the last half.
I'll deliver them fast. Get them here. I have 40 movement speed.
Yeah, he has like a little backpack and stuff on him, and it says pizza time on the back of it.
I can
Orders
dash and
1
bonus
through
action dash. I can do
6
120 feet in 6 seconds.
seconds. Jeez, oh my god.
Orders number 4 done.
Okay, get them here. I'll start running with these. I'll come back.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, and he goes out the door and he starts to run out. And
Taking a dash action.
as the door opens, Valeska comes in and he runs out. You run out and start doing your deliveries. You go to the church and to the bar and stuff. And she comes in and she's like, "Oh, how are you, honey?" And kisses Geppetto. Way better now. And you,
Alright,
Isaac, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous, my lady. But how rude of me not to offer you a drink yet while I'm still cooking.
Yeah, he's
What
just-
would you have?
Oh no, just water's fine.
Understood? There's water in this bag, and I bring it over.
Yeah, and yeah, she's just talking to him, and they're just talking about like things that they're about to go like on a date or something, or a weekend that they have planned. And everything like I said, everything just becomes a little busier. You're finishing up everything, and as you are cleaning everything up, you hear outside like a man kind of like yelling, "Giovanni's Pizzeria, the best pizzeria in Faerun. You ain't got nothing to worry about, Geppetto's ass." And there's like a crowd kind of like gaggled around him, and the priestesses around him or whatever.
Oh, would you look at that? It's the town drunk.
Hello?
Yeah, we just
Oh,
got
yeah.
back.
Okay.
You didn't miss anything. It was just Isaac, and then
Oh my god, I look like He-Man.
yeah, and then Lucius is
Conan the Barbarian.
yeah, Lucius went around.
Sansa.
What
I'm
you
coming
do
back
know,
right now,
what
that
you
fast.
yeah, and he's running in, and then he's out outside. He's like, Giovanni's Pizzeria, the only pizzeria with the deep dish pizza. Unlike Geppetto's lazy ass, he don't even know how to make that. And you can see like a crowd is kind of gaggling around him, and he looks over to both of you. Oh, he sent the choir boy out here to do his dirty work. Geppetto can't even face me, huh?
Geppetto need not waste his time against you. He's too busy tending to his fair maiden
And then
and having a meal.
yeah, he kind of like grits his teeth a little bit. It's like
And why are you bragging about a deep dish? They say the deepest wells hide the darkest secrets. Why eat at Giovanni's? Where everything's hidden. We're at Geppetto's Pizzeria. You see for yourself. You feel for yourself. You taste for yourself.
yeah, in the crowd.
And I'm gonna.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna like do a big like flourish gestures.
Yeah, you
There's
can do
the
a flourish.
restaurant behind me.
Viren's eye. That shit was beautiful.
yeah, Viren, he comes out from the corner of the street. Like you guys all kind of meet, and Viren has like kind of like an oil all around him and stuff, as if he's been like working at the docks and stuff, and just like he's kind of dirty and stuff. Like he just got off his shift.
That's the power of a Ford F-150.
Who else is gonna move those boats? It's Viren. It's like over there, like working at the docks. You know how I got these
Viren,
I
muscles?
got finished with the run with David Goggins.
Just finished the run.
Yeah, I knew he was doing his morning workout.
Yeah.
Excellent timing, Viren. It appears there's some trash in our streets again.
I always did want to be a garbage man.
And he's like, I got nothing to do with you kids. Tell Geppetto to eat one. And he walks off.
I would walk away too if I was that small.
Yeah, and if
As
he
he's
does
walking
eat
by-
something, it'll be full flavor. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as he's walking by, I'm just gonna say, we all know you can't dish it deep.
Oh. Alright, let me roll for this.
Oh,
He
shit.
takes
Yeah.
he takes 1 psychic damage.
I thought it was gonna like legendary reaction and fucking cut my head off.
No. He takes 1 psychic damage from that comment, and he kind of like And yeah, he walks off, and you can see that there's posters all around saying Giovanni's Pizzeria.
All right, be the bigger person, gentlemen. Don't tamper with the signs.
Evening, priestess.
Oh, evening, Lucius. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Would you like a pizza?
Oh, I would love one. You've really grown.
Grooming
That happens
Riz.
with age, yes.
Yes. Well, whenever you're free, I know that you're working at the moment. You can always come by for prayer studies.
I think I study other ways now. Why the fuck am I doing Soul Harbors?
How am I doing Solar's voice? The kids love it when you read for them.
Well, that's different from prayer.
Well, of course, you're gonna read the good book to them.
I think I'll read the Old Faithful and I'll reach into my back pocket, which still has the fucking fairy tale book.
Oh. Well, you could read anything for the kids, of course. The kids from the orphanage, they come over here whenever they're, on Sundays. They love it when you read for
Viren,
them.
I think you should also come sometimes.
Oh, no. Just you, Lucius.
No, I think Viren should come to
No,
show
just you,
Get
Lucius.
strong orphan.
Just you. And he kind of like, grabs your shoulder. Just you, Lucius. A big, strong boy you've become.
Guys?
I like thumbs up to Lucius.
Yeah, she's in her late 40s, like almost in her 50s, but she's like, she doesn't look bad.
Yeah, she's a groomer.
Yeah, maybe. You know, things are different in
Maybe.
Faerun. Were you gonna say something there, Isaac?
No, I was gonna. Well, I was just gonna say like I was gonna say that's up to Lucius, but then I was gonna be like, I was gonna say, ma'am, he's a child, but then you said it's different in Faerun,
Yeah,
so it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this
have you
is
guys never watched an anime with an elf in it before?
yeah. So then he walks. So yeah, he walks.
Yeah.
She walks off and goes into the church and kind of like winks at Lucius as she goes in.
If he ages so, or is he actually like 30 right now?
He's actually regressed 3 times. His soul is almost 40 years old.
Yeah, and yeah, as you guys are all standing there and talking or whatever. Valeska comes out. Oop, I can move her. She comes out and she says, "Well, have a good night, y'all. I'll talk to you later." And she walks off.
Or will you be okay going home?
Oh, why? Yes, of course. The guards
Very well.
always look out for me.
Indeed, our streets are clean compared to some other places in Waterdeep.
And then Geppetto kind of invites you to come back in.
I feel like deep dish in Waterdeep.
Deep dish. What was all that ruckus outside?
The usual semi-annual reoccurrence. A bitter love rival chanting his sorrows.
Giovanni, huh?
Indeed. Nothing to worry about, though. He's all talk, trying to advertise his pizzeria in the neighborhood. He can have as many signs as he wants. Our flavors speak for themselves.
Oh, you know it. You definitely know that, Isaac. You've been cooking quite a storm in there. I'm very excited for you to eventually take over. And maybe you have your 2 business partners here, Lucius and Vera. Oh yeah, I quite doubt anyone's gonna come around here and, you know, start a ruckus with Viren outside.
I wish they would sometime.
Viren, you have very dark thoughts. I'm just kidding.
Aaron, that's why you wait at the door inside and come out once you hear something already started.
That's why I stay at the
Then it's
door and then
usually
ready an
over
action
faster.
to strike. So you'll strike as soon as they come.
Yeah.
That's rolling initiative.
And then he goes over to Isaac and he, like, you know, he asks you guys to like sit down. He's like, "I need to speak to you about something, Isaac."
Of course.
Well, as you know, I want to give the shop to you eventually. But it just seems as
Today?
if you are doing great work, I know. If I just seem as if you're not quite ready yet for the Dragon Spice
No,
recipe.
What?
And Isaac's jaw just drops.
Yeah, I'm like Star-Lord in Guardians 2.
Yeah.
What?
You have to understand, Isaac. This recipe is quite dangerous. It's not for the
Dangerous?
It's not for the weak-minded. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying that you're not ready for it yet. It took
What
me.
do you mean? What? Another 6 years?
Of course, maybe, possibly. I imagine even less than that. Maybe even 4 years.
Do you
You kn-
know how much I've sacrificed for this restaurant? You didn't even lift up a finger for those last 10 orders.
Because I
was
trust
practically
you.
running it here myself.
And you guys are just sitting there, and it's like an awkward. You know, like when you go into like a family, you're at your friend's house, and the dad and the son decide to have like an argument, or the mom starts to have an argument in front of you guys. You're just not ready.
I get it.
You don't understand.
I'm never gonna be ready, right?
No,
That's
no,
what you did. Just bring up an orphan from the orphanage and fill his head with false hopes that he's never gonna have.
Isaac, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to understand. You are going to eventually know the recipe, and we're gonna do whatever we can. You know, you just need to train more. That's all I'm saying. You're almost there. There's nothing wrong with being almost there.
Well, if I'm not ready after all this time, maybe it's the teacher. And maybe other chefs are more capable than you.
Isaac, please don't do this.
You know, I just need some air right now.
I need some air. Yeah, and you guys walk off.
Isaac.
Yeah, you guys walk off.
I also like air.
Not you too, Viren. You were the coolest one.
Well,
And you know,
uh,
it's time.
he kind of like holds out like a fist pump, and you kind of just leave. Just don't fist pump him.
oh. You can see the conflict in Viren's eyes. He, like, halfway comes up for a fist bump and then just like drops his head,
Like, we don't literally
dragging his
just Toto.
sword on the way out.
Like, this is literally just Toto.
Yeah, and you
That's
guys
what I
go.
want, bro.
You guys go back to your childhood recollection place next to the orphanage, your favorite place by the docks.
Yeah, I was just that was where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
To. That's what
Hey, Viren, you remember
Stop
what
throwing
happened here?
rocks into the water.
Yeah, and you guys
All
start
those
throwing
years
all those years ago. Viren works over there. What does he fucking knows where it's at?
I was just here like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Oh, but
I
we're
was
back.
trying to
Okay.
reference to the wrestling match.
No, I'm kidding. He
And,
works out. He works out in the water. He works in the fishing docks, but he also helps with like hauling in the fishes and
Middle of
stuff.
winter. No, I'm kidding.
Built fucking different, bro.
Yeah, he goes out there shirtless in the middle of
Not even
winter.
water too? Yeah.
Just like he just jumps in the water.
All I need is this fur to cover the fish. This is for the fish's sake, not mine. You know how
He
many
kept accidentally
mermaid I had
reeling-
to try to beat
reeling
off?
them in.
And yeah, you
You
guys,
almost got fired for not getting any work done.
and just like in a fit of rage, Isaac is like running through the streets, and then you guys like lose him for a second, and then you guys kind of think about it, and you're like, oh yeah, he's he must be by the docks, and you guys come across Isaac as he's like skipping rocks into the water, and you can kind of see like just in his mannerisms, he looks like extremely sad.
I hope that's the Willem Dafoe meme.
Oh yeah, it is.
Thank God. Hell yeah.
Just William Dafoe memes constantly. Do you know how much I sacrifice?
You can't do this to me.
You can't do this to me. Are you guys gonna say anything? You guys see Isaac just throwing the rocks into the water, but it looks like limp.
There's like no rocks near me. I like throw the last one, and that's close to me. I start getting mad. I like reach for the hat about to throw it, but like stop myself.
Isaac, you
Yeah,
know,
like,
we will always be with you.
I know
Oh,
that,
really?
but-
How do you know that?
Yeah, that's right.
Aw.
We're always gonna be the three of us, no matter what. I know that is true 100%, but it's only. Here I am, sous chef Geppetto de Figurier, emperor of the village hidden in the flavor, all the other shit that I always say. But you guys working at the docks while having to help at the shop part time, being the only runner for delivery. I always thought when I made it there I was gonna bring you guys up with me, but it seems like there's just obstacle after obstacle.
it's alright, man. Somebody's got to hold you up.
Hmm.
gotta
I'm
be
being
at the
held up
top.
plenty right now.
And you
Held
can,
up from my destiny.
yeah, and you kind of see
Isaac
like
Kilimanjaro.
tears start to run down from Isaac's cheek a little bit. He's trying to hide it.
Please don't cry.
Yeah, if you cry, then Lucius is gonna cry.
And then I
And
gotta
he might
punch him.
punch something.
And I gotta punch Lucius.
Yeah, but not me.
I'll punch you back.
'Cause
Try
I'm
me.
You wanna do this
Isaac,
again?
you wanna do this?
Sure, try to grapple me. I have 19 decks.
I have 19
Crack
strength.
this Smile.
Fuck with me.
You start first so I can actually use my decks. And stuff.
And yeah, Isaac, you're out there like crying and contemplating life or whatever, and you hear them both bickering behind you.
Some things not changing are good, but the things that it sucks when they say the same are just that bad. Does he even take me seriously? What if someone else shows up and they're actually gonna, take over the shop, and I'm just never gonna be ready? I was fine not owning the shop, but it felt like the dragon spice. It's just a spice. It's more symbolic than anything, and He won't even give me that.
And
And Isaac fails, and he does start crying.
yeah, he begins to cry. And then you hear the doors of the orphanage open up, and the lady comes out. And she's older now. You see the wrinkles are setting in. I knew I heard.
Like fine wine.
I knew I heard you clowns out here. What are you doing out here, Viren?
Oh, I got off work early and I wanted to help my friends.
Viren, why do you still smell like fish? Didn't I raise you to become better than this?
Maybe because I work at the docks.
And she goes up to Viren and grabs him by his ear again. And he's just like willfully goes with her. And she kind of like forces you guys all to come inside the orphanage.
Aaron has like the MMA fighter's ear where it's like all the cauliflower ear.
Yeah, cauliflower ear. And yeah, the
Just
orphanage.
on one side.
And you notice that the orphanage, like as you guys all come in, the orphanage is like way emptier than it used to be. There's like one kid maybe in there.
I mean, that's a good thing. No more dead
I should have
parents.
stayed here.
What do you mean by that? Viren, go shower.
Fine.
You smell like fish. Please use the soap.
Still gonna smell like fish.
Use the soap. That kid, he's so
The fish
dense.
smells like.
He's so
the soap smells
dense.
like fish.
He's so
It's
dense.
gonna smell like fish.
And she kind of just like, she kind of grabs the paddle and just smacks it against the ground.
That would break if you used it against me.
Oh
Go.
no, he's going through his rebellious phase.
Yeah, she's like, go on, get. Go shower.
It's a cow farm. There's gonna be cows outside.
And yeah, you know, Viren goes in to go, and then she comes in and she's like looking at Isaac. He's like, oh, my baby boy, why are you so sad? What's wrong?
No matter what I do, you're not ready. So how much trash was I in the beginning that I'm still not ready after everything? I'm not giving you context. Geppetto, he won't, let me move on to the next steps of my training.
Maybe he doesn't think you're ready. Maybe there's a reason behind it. There's usually reasons behind things like this.
He won't even tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Think about it from his perspective. Maybe he's trying to keep you away from something dangerous. He is like your father.
Yeah, but
He's the only one that took you in when no one else wanted to. You know the day that he met you. You know what you were doing here?
being awesome.
You literally had a bunch of planks of wood and you set up a miniature shop and you were feeding porridge to all the other kids.
We were always eating the same stuff. I just wanted to give them something new.
Yeah, no, and I greatly appreciate it. Having my own personal chef. What orphanage wouldn't want that? But in your heart, if you truly desire something new, and you really feel that maybe as good as a man Geppetto is, and he has his own demons lurking inside of him. I've known him for a while. If you
What do you
feel
mean?
that you need to go on your own and expand, so you can reach the goal that you so desire, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
I'll have to think some things over. What do you think, Lucius? Am I overreacting?
I think you're always right, Isaac.
He just doesn't think you're always right, Isaac.
That's right. That's right. Read the script.
That's right, read the script. Good. And then Viren comes out. He comes out and he still has soap all over his body and stuff.
I thought he would just stand in the corner like always.
You flooded that shit again?
Yeah, it's like flooded.
No way.
Viren, what the fuck? Every time.
Not wet at all.
Hey, it's an orphanage, don't swear.
You don't tell me what to swear. And she goes over to him and grabs him by the ear, and then puts him over her knee, and then starts to get the paddle.
While
Right.
he's
High
getting
five.
battled, I'm just gonna
Avoid
be
getting
standing.
grappled.
Yeah,
I roll acrobatics to avoid being grappled.
you
Oh,
can
she
roll
going for
acrobatic.
you?
Fuck off, not 1 for 7.
Yeah.
You're getting
You go.
spanked.
You kind of like move, like you kind of like dodge out of the way, and then she grabs you by your robe and like pulls you, kind of like she's seen this move before, like with all the kids that she's probably beat, and then she pulls you like immediately, and then bends you over her knee, and then bare asses you in front of everybody and gets the paddle.
I told you she was evil.
Lucian.
Viren, do you
Lucian.
think I'm overreacting?
Nope.
What are we talking about? He's getting-
Sources of advice say I'm doing the right thing.
and then she
I will always support you.
lifts his pants up. And you don't speak to me like that in my own home, Lucius. You know better.
Yeah,
I still
Lucius.
swear in front of the kid.
Yeah, Lucius,
The
what the
one
hell?
kid didn't.
What the hell? Oh, yeah, Lucius, what the hell? Lucius, I always thought you were the better kid, but Isaac over here is a shining star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cousin John. No, that's not it either.
Isaac, if you really feel
Yeah,
that this is your path and you need to veer from it, go on. There are other people and other chefs around here that can help you and assist you in what you really want. You know this.
I don't want to betray. I just want him to take me seriously. Maybe if I just look around, it could show him like if someone else sees my potential.
It reminds me of a story. You know, I was married a couple times, you know?
What?
I was with my
No
first
way.
husband, where we stood together, and he broke up with me, left with another woman. And you know what I did? I found a better man. And you know what happened after that? He came crawling back to me, begging
Mm.
on his knees, wanting me to come back so bad. And I did what any respectable woman could do. The other guy was an ass clown anyway. I was only with him because he had six-pack abs and luscious hair. But he was an idiot. I eventually went back to my first husband with more wisdom and more power in the relationship.
When she's describing the second husband, I look at Viren. With those long locks and shit. It's like, oh, that's why she's so harsh on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what she hates.
It's all
Beard.
making
That's what he hates Beard so much. Kind of like Viren, hard abs, long hair, never wore a shirt.
Man of culture, indeed.
Yeah. So she leaves you with this wisdom, and you know, we're gonna decide next time what Isaac the Linche is going to do. Amazing, guys. What will Isaac decide to do? Will he go to the other pizzeria? Will he find another chef maybe around the town? We'll never know. Till next time. And we're gonna end it right